Okay na.
Ah,
Set ko na po yung record. Oops.
Magandang gabi sa lahat, ma'am. Isang mapagpalang gabi. Ito ang aming kilos pananaliksik kung saan ang aming pamagat ay paggamit ng pinatnubayang grapikong pantulong or guided graphic organizer, pamamaraan sa epektibong pagbubuod ng maikling kwento. Muli, ako po si Binibining Olga Namol at aking kasamahan na si Ginoong Jed. Ginoong Jed?
Ayan, maraming salamat, Binibining Olga Namol. Muli, magandang gabi sa ating lahat, lalo na sa ating butihing dekana na si Ma'am Bonyor, Ma'am. So ngayon, ito yung suliranin at kaligiran ng aming kilos pananaliksik, Ma'am. Nakabatay, sisimulan ko yung pagtalakay sa mga kasanayang pang ikadalawamput isang siglo. So ito yung mga 21st century skills. Ito yung mga nagsilbing pangunahing batayang nagtatakda sa kung ano-ano yung mga kakailanganing kasanayang lilinangin sa ating mga mag-aaral sa 21st century nga, sa pang ikadalawamput isang siglo. Then, yung 21st century skills na to, ma'am, ay merong apat na C. Isa sa apat na C ay yung communication. At yung apat na C dito, ma'am, ay nakatuon o nakafocus yung apat na C kung bakit na ilatag o nailunsad yung bagong curriculum ng Pilipinas, which is yung K-12 curriculum. Nakakawing dito yung apat na C. Isa sa apat na C, ma'am, yung communication, yung kasanayan sa pakikipagkomunika o pakikipagtalastasan. Nakapaloob sa sa kasanayan sa pakikipagkomunika, ma'am, yung limang makrong kasanayan. At isa sa mga binigyang diin namin o focus sa kilos pananaliksik na ito ay ang kasanayan sa pagsusulat. Lalong-lalo na sa asignaturang Filipino na kung pagbabatayan ang konseptual na balangkas sa pagtuturo ng Filipino sa K-12 mula o nakabatay sa gabay pang curriculum, halos karamihan sa mga learning competencies doon, ma'am, particular na sa grade level na pinili namin, ay nakafocus sa pagbubuod at pagsusulat ng ilang mga akda tulad ng sanaysay, pagbubuod ng sanaysay, pagbubuod ng maikling kwento at maging pagbibigay ng mga buod tungkol sa sinuring mga tula. So, kaugnay nito, ma'am, inilabas ang DepEd Order 39 Series of 2012 na Policies Guidelines on Addressing Learning Gaps and Implementing a Reading and Writing Program in Secondary Schools effective school year 2012-2013. Nakasaad dito sa DepEd Order na ito, ma'am, na kinakailangan lahat ng mga pang-sekundaryang pampaaralan sa buong Pilipinas ay kinakailangan na maglunsad at maglatag ng mga programang magpapalinang sa kasanayan at kakayahan ng mga mag-aaral na magsulat at magbasa. At kalimitan sa mga kasanayan at kalimitan sa mga programang inilulunsad ng bawat paaralan, ma'am, ay nahahati sa dalawa. Ito yung mga programa o mga gawain pang classroom at mga gawain labas sa classroom tulad ng mga iba't ibang mga paligsahan sa labas ng paaralan. So, ang mga ito ay magpapalinang sa kasanayan sa pagsusulat. Kalimitan nagpapalinang sa kasanayan sa pagsusulat ay yung ginagawang pagbubuod ng isang binasang maikling kwento. Pinili namin yung maikling kwento dahil ito yung kalimitang ginagamit bilang lunsarang teksto. Isa ito sa mga learning competencies at kalimitan ito yung isa sa mga pinakamaraming learning competencies na matatagpuan sa bawat quarter sa grade 7 na mga aralin. Samantala, tahasang sinabi ni Khan noong 2021 na ang epektibo o mabisang pagbubuod ay mailap sa nakararami. Isa itong kasanayan na sadyang mahirap kabisaduhin at nangangailangan ng sapat na panahon at pagsasanay. Sa pag-aaral nga na isinagawa ng Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization at ng United Nations Children's Fund o UNICEF noong 2019, 1% lamang ng mga naturang Pilipinong mag-aaral ang maituturing na nasa higher levels of proficiency sa pagsusulat. Mapaglilinang ang kasanayan sa pagsusulat ay ang mapaglilinang ito sa pamamagitan nga ng pagbubuod ng iba't ibang akdang pampanitikan. Maaaring gumawa muna ng mga grapikong pantulong o graphic organizers na nasa anyo o disenyo ng isang sequential chart. Ang pagpili ng baitang na magiging respondente o respondents na naturang kilos pananaliksik ay ibinatay sa baitang na kung saan karamihan sa mga learning competencies sa kasanayan sa pagsusulat nito ay nakatuon sa pagbubuod. Yung pagtukoy sa ang gagawin dito namin ma'am, pinili namin yung graphic organizer sa anyo ng isang sequential chart dahil kalimitan kasi sa mga gawain na makikita sa aklat sa grade 7 ay direkta na pinasusulat yung mga mag-aaral ng buod na niwalang gabay kung papaano isusulat yung buod. Then, kalimitan talagang nahihirapan yung mga mag-aaral kung papaano magsusulat ng buod, particular na kung walang mga gabay na tanong at mga descriptors sa bawat banghay na nakapaloob sa isang Freytag's pyramid. So, ngayon ma'am, ang gagawin namin, magkakaroon kami ng dalawang ah, goal kung ano yung aming tutukuyin. So, tutukuyin namin dito, ma'am, yung level ng pananaw. Makukuha namin yung level ng pananaw, ma'am, sa pamamagitan ng talatanungan sa pamamaraan ng isang checklist. So, meron kaming ibibigay na mga expected answers ng mga mag-aaral tungkol sa paggamit ng graphic organizer. Yung gagawin lamang nila, simpleng i-check lamang nila kung sila ba ay lubos sa sumasang-ayon, hindi sumasang-ayon sa mga ibinigay naming mga uh, responses. At then, tutukuyin din namin, ma'am, yung level ng kasanayan sa pamamagitan ng isang holistikong rubric. So, papasulatin namin sila ng buod gamit yung graphic organizer. Then pagkatapos, tatasahin namin yung kanilang sinulat na buod sa pamamagitan ng isang holistikong rubric. Then, pagkatapos noon, ma'am, ay kukunin yung average test scores ng buong mag-aaral. Then susuriin yung overall na average test scores ng mga mag-aaral na nakuha gamit ang isang overall students writing rating scale. So, narito yung mga tanong hinggil sa kilos pananalisik namin, ma'am. Una, ano ang level ng pananaw ng mga mag-aaral ukol sa paggamit ng pinatnubayang grapikong pantulong sa kanilang pagbubuod ng maikling kwento? Makukuha ang sagot dito, ma'am, sa pamamagitan ng talatanungan sa pamamaraan ng isang checklist. Ikalawa, ano ang level ng kasanayan ng mga mag-aaral sa pagsulat ng buod ng maikling kwento gamit ang pinatnubayang grapikong pantulong? Ang ibig sabihin namin ng level ng kasanayan, ma'am, ano yung descriptor sa holistic rubric na ibibigay namin? So, ano yung level of kasanayan, ano yung level ng kasanayan nila? Sila ba ay mahusay, umuunlad, mga ganong tipo, ma'am? Then, yung ikatlo, paano nagkakaugnay ang level ng pananaw ng mga mag-aaral ukol sa paggamit ng pinatnubayang grapikong pantulong sa naging level ng kasanayang natamo nito sa pagbubuod. So, simpleng pag-uugnay lamang, simpleng pag-aanalisa lamang, ma'am, sa dalawang datos na nakuha. So, hindi na po kinakailangan yung mga mahihirap na statistical tools. Yung gagawin lang namin, ma'am, very simple lang na pagsusuri sa dalawang magkaibang datos kung for example, halimbawa po, ma'am, na kung yung level ba ng pananaw ng mga mag-aaral, sila ay lubos na sumasang-ayon sa lahat ng mga items na kanilang sinagutan, ito ba ay may kaugnayan? Meron ba silang pagkakaugnay sa natamo nilang overall sa kanilang average test scores na natamo sa ginawang pagbubuod? So, simpleng pag-aanalisa lamang, ma'am, kung meron bang kaugnayan ang dalawang mga nakalap na datos. Then, ipapaliwanag po ni Binibining Olga yung hakbang sa pagsasagawa ng naturang kilos pananaliksik.
Okay, so yun nga yung mga suliranin at kaligiran ng aming kilos pananaliksik. So napaka-importante po na malaman namin at maisagawa ang mga hakbang sa pagsasagawa para maayos ang daloy ng aming kilos pananaliksik. So una po, ma'am, ipapabasa sa mga mag-aaral ang isang maikling kwento. So dito, ma'am, bawat mag-aaral ay may tig-iisang kopya. So pangalawa, kasunod naman po nito, ma'am, magkakaroon ng pagsusuri sa maikling kwento gamit ang pamprosesong tanong. So meron dito, ma'am, yung tinatawag natin na guide questions o mga gabay na katanungan. So magbibigay kami ng tatlong gabay na katanungan, ma'am, para magsilbing gabay sa aming paksang pakatatalakayin. So dito naman, ma'am, pagkatapos, ipapaliwanag ng mananaliksik sa mga mag-aaral ang gawain ukol sa pagbubuod. Ipapakita ang grapikong pantulong na disenyo. So pang-apat, pakapupunan ang sagot ang bawat bahagi ng grapikong pantulong at may mga salitang hudyat o descriptor at tanong na kakatawan sa isang bahagi ng banghay na kwento. So may mga pinagsamang bahagi ng banghay. So ito ma'am ay parang may ano siya, parang hindi lahat. So meron dito ma'am kaming inihandang isang halimbawa na ipapaliwanag ni Ginoong Jed. Jed?
Okay, ma'am. Ayan, maraming salamat, Binibining Olga. So, ito'y halimbawa, ma'am, noong nagsagawa ako ng critical analysis paper sa mga mag-aaral ko sa Baitang 10 nung sa first year internship ko sa Siliman Junior High. Ito'y hindi yung actual na magiging pinal namin na graphic organizer, ma'am. Merong maraming modification ang gagawin dito. Pero namangha ako sa estilo, namangha ako sa naging nakuha kong ah performance or yung naging performance ng mga mag-aaral ko dahil ang ginawa ko kasi ma'am, part sa kanilang critical analysis paper sa second quarter ay gumawa sila ng isa sa mga bahagi sa critical analysis paper na ginawa nila ay ibubuod nila yung maikling kwento nilang ginamit. So, nagustuhan ang ginawa ko dahil kung simpleng ipapabuod lamang sa kanila yung kwento, mahihirapan talaga sila. So, yung ginawa ko ma'am ay meron akong nahati ito sa 5 bahagi. Then, bawat bahagi meron kaming maraming modification na gagawin ma'am sa aming research ngayon, pero yung ginawa ko noon ay meron lamang mga simpleng mga tanong sa bawat bahagi ng Freytag's Pyramid. Kadalasan kasi sa Freytag's Pyramid ma'am, yung descriptor lang na kakalasan, yung mga climax, yung kasukdulan, mga ganong tipo lang. Pero walang guide question, simplified guide question para matagpi-tagpi yung mga pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga pangyayari. So, ito yung nakuha ko based sa mga sagot ng mga mag-aaral. Isa ito sa mga nagustuhan kong sagot na sa bawat bahagi ma'am, meron namang isang pangungusap. So, at merong guide question. Nagsimula sa ano ang simula ng kwento, ano ang gusto o nais ng bida sa akda, ano ang problema ng bida, ano ang ginawang paraan ng bida na ma-resolve ang problema, and panghuli, ano ang nangyari o kinahinatnan ng bida. Then pagkatapos niyan ma'am, ang gagawin niyo ng buod, pagsasama-samahin na lamang yung lahat ng mga pangungusap mula sa bawat bahagi ng graphic organizer para makabuo sila ng isang buod talata or kalimitan na tawag itong buod pangungusap. Then sa ganoong paraan ma'am, hindi sila mahihirapan, guided siya, graphic organizer, dahil pinagtatagpi-tagpi, pinasasama-sama yung lahat ng mga pangungusap, di isang pangungusap sa bawat bahagi para makabuo sila ng isang talatang buod ng isang akdang pampanitikan, particular na dun sa maikling kwento. Olga will continue, ma'am.
Okay, so yun nga po yung isa sa halimbawa na ipinaliwanag ni Ginoong Jed. So ngayon, ating babalikan yung mga hakbang. So pagkatapos, meron tayong tig-iisang pangungusap lamang ang sagot sa bawat bahagi ng nasabing grapikong pantulong. Pagsasama-samahin ang lahat ng mga sagot na pangungusap at isusulat sa ika-6 na bahagi ng pinatubayang grapikong pantulong na magsisilbing kanilang pagbubuod. So, napaka-importante nga ma'am na sa pagbubuod, merong guide ang mga estudyante para guided sila sa kung ano yung gagawin nila. So, pang-7 naman ma'am, sa ikalawang pahina, sasagutan nila ang talatanungan na sa anyo ng isang checklist hinggil sa kanilang pananaw sa ginagamit na grapikong pantulong. At ang matapos ang mga ito, maaari nang kolektahin ng mga mananaliksik ang mga tanungan upang masimula na ang pagsusuri sa mga datos. Pagkatapos, ikukompute ang average test scores na nakuha ng lahat ng mga mag-aaral at tutukuyin kung ano ang level ng kasanayan ng mga mag-aaral sa buod na isinulat gamit ang isang writing rating scale. So pagkatapos nito, ma'am, simpleng pakasusuriin ang mga pangkabuang datos na nakalap mula sa level ng pananaw at level ng kasanayan kung papaano ang mga ito nagkakaugnay sa isa't isa.
Okay, maraming
So,
salamat, Binibining
okay,
Olga.
Ginoong Jed.
So ito po yung plano kung paano susuriin yung datos. Ang kilos pananaliksik na ito ay kombinasyon ng kwalitatibo at kwantitatibong uri ng pananaliksik. Kwalitatibo, ma'am, sa tingin ko kwalitatibo siya dahil yung sa parte ng pagkuha ng level ng pananaw, may mga naibigay na din kasi ng mga expected na sagot ng mga mag-aaral tungkol sa paggamit sa graphic organizer. Then, yung mga descriptors din sa holistic rubric ay malinaw din na ilalahad kung papaano nila matatamo yung score na 5 puntos. Malinaw na ilalahad namin doon kung ano yung mga kinakailangan nilang ma-attain o kinakailangan nilang makamit para makakuha ng puntos na yon. Then, quantitatibo siya sa pamamaraang yun nga, merong mga kalkulasyon, especially susuriin yung mga nalikom na datos gamit yung tatlong pamamaraan, yung percentage frequency distribution para sa talatanungan yung checklist, pagkakalkula sa kabuang average test scores, simpleng pagkuha lang ng mean, then mula sa pinagbatayang holistikong rubric at yung pagtukoy ng level ng kasanayan gamit ang isang overall students writing rating scale. So merong rating scale, then sa kasanayan sa pagsulat ng isang buod. Then matapos nito, ihahambing yung mga datos, simpleng ihahambing ang mga datos kung paano nagkakaugnay yung level ng pananaw ng mga mag-aaral, sila ba lubos sa sumasang-ayon, sila ba hindi sumasang-ayon, o hindi ba nagustuhan yung graphicong patulong na ginamit, at ano yung ugnayan nito sa kanilang natamong level ng kasanayan sa kanilang isinulat na buod, base na rin sa ginamit na holistic rubric at sa rating scale mo. Yun lamang po, ma'am, at maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po, ma'am.
Okay, so what I'm getting here is that you want to find out the level, the perception of students on the use of graphic organizer, right? And you're going to do that through a questionnaire, right?
Yes
Yes.
po.
So what you need to attach here is a copy of that questionnaire, and whether that questionnaire is researcher prepared or if that questionnaire is adopted from an existing study. So you might want to see if there is already an existing study, and if there is already a questionnaire that you can adapt, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. But if there is no such questionnaire, you will have to make that questionnaire yourself. And you know, in research, we have to dapat i-pilot yung questionnaire. So you have to have a group of students answer those questionnaires and then ask them which areas doon ang medyo mahirap nila maintindihan, which options there ang medyo kulang, or you could ask them to add more options. And also, you could do an expert validation, which is that you show the questionnaire to maybe si isang Filipino professor nyo, pakita nyo yung questionnaire, pakita nyo yung purpose ng questionnaire at yung questionnaire para ma-validate niya. Ang tawag naman doon, expert validation. So that since this is researcher-made, kasi pag ginawa nyo yung questionnaire, dapat kasi meron tayong reliability test, ipapilot siya at i-validate. Reliability test will take time. The easiest to go about this, since we have limited time, is expert validation. Ask a Filipino teacher or yung professor nyo to critique your questionnaire. So dapat alam niya kung anong purpose ng questionnaire nyo para makritik niya. At pangalawa, i-pilot nyo siya, maybe just 5 or 6 students. Piliin nyo yung mga students na talagang magko-comment. Yung mga students ba who will really speak their mind, na sir, hindi ko intindihan tong question number 1, bakit ito? Itong mga options, hindi ko naintindihan tong ganito, siguro sir ganito. So you need to do a piloting. Kasi you are making your own questionnaire. Okay, so that questionnaire, the purpose is to see the perception of students on the use of graphic organizers. So halimbawa, have you used graphic organizers before? Kagamit na ba kayo ng grapikong pangtulong? So pag ganon, do they really know in Filipino ano yung grapikong pangtulong? So you'll have to show or give a bit of explanation. Kasi pag hindi nila naiintindihan, yung answers nila muddied na yun because their answers are based on a faulty interpretation of the question. So you have to make sure talaga they understand the question. So I need to know, I need to see this questionnaire. It doesn't have to be long, right? 5
Yes,
items
ma'am.
will do.
Okay.
Oo.
5 items will do po,
5
ma'am.
items.
Yes, it will do.
Okay.
Basta lang focus doon sa purpose ng questionnaire. And
Okay,
then maybe meron kayong, kasi may qualitative kayo. So not all na ABCD agree, disagree, yung mga Likert scale. You should have an open-ended question like,
Okay.
Do you have difficulty writing essays or summary ito, di ba?
Yes po, ma'am.
Yes
Oo.
po,
So,
ma'am.
bakit nahihirapan kayong magsulat ng buod ng maikling kwento? Gumagamit na ba ang iyong guro ng grapikong pangtulong upang maisulat nyo yung buod ng maikling kwento? Yung mga ganon, because you want to find out and then you ask maybe if they like it, if they have experienced it and they like it, why? Why do you like it? That will help you with the qualitative part, so you can do a thematic analysis of the reasons. No, you can ask them, do you find writing, how do you find, dapat yung question hindi leading ha, hindi pwede yung nahihirapan ba kayong magsulat ng, hindi pwedeng ganyan. Sa research, dapat yung question not leading. So, ano ba ang iyong karanasan ukol sa pagsulat ng mga ganon, ng buod ng maikling kwento? Okay. Nagugustuhan nyo ba? Nahirapan ba kayo? Hindi. So, may naghirapan, may nagustuhan ba kayo? Kung bakit? Yung mga ganon. So, you need to see those questions and have it validated. So, let's assume that you have that data there, right? And let's say, most of them, wala nga silang experience na merong grapikong pangtulong, ganyan-ganyan. So, ngayon, you have your intervention, right? Nagagamitan nyo siya. Ang next question ko naman ngayon, how long will you use this intervention? Nandito ba yan sa ating, you will use it. Ang nakita ko, it's in grade 7, nandoon siya sa section plutonium, sa Piapi High School, sa ikatlo at ikaapat na quarter. Hindi na to kaya, Tatlo, ikaapat ba? So maybe instead of quarter, how many sessions, how many hours? Kasi, di ba sa Piapi is like twice a week kayo nagbi-meet ng 4 hours? Ganon ba yon?
Once a week, ma'am. 3 hours ang session sa Filipino, ma'am.
Imagine, once a week lang. Language yan. Kailangan niya ng practice. So, once a week lang talaga sila naka-Filipino. So, isulat niyo siya dyan. You have to write here in the pamamaraan. You have to describe the context that they only meet once a week, na 3 hours lang, at anong nangyayari doon sa 3 hours. Dapat yan klaro sa inyong pamamaraan. And then, as a teacher or reader, ngayon, I'm curious, bakit isang section lang to? So, kasi I would like to know whether nahihirapan ba talaga. What if one section, hindi kayo hindi kayo gumagamit ng advanced organizer? Yung isang section naman, gumagamit kayo. So, may difference ba talaga? That would be interesting to see rather than just use one section, kasi especially kung ang researcher siya din si teacher. You know what I mean? May mga element of bias din dyan eh. So, how many sections are you handling, Olga? And where are you teaching? Pareha ba kayong Piapi?
Yes, ma'am. Piapi po, ma'am. Bale, ang grade, ang level po ng aking ini-handle, ma'am, is grade 11, UMS and STEM. Dalawang sections
Ako po
po.
yung grade 7, ma'am. Handle ko po yung 3 sections sa grade 7.
So, yung experiment, yung study nyo doon sa grade 7?
Yes po.
Yes po, ma'am.
Sa yung klase, Olga, hindi kayo gumagamit ng mga ganito? Wala na kayong literature, kaya hindi mo siya inano?
Yes po, ma'am. Bale, nasa pananaliksik na rin po yung mga kalamitang topic po namin, ma'am.
Don't you use advanced organizers there also? What is your topic na? Just conducting research?
Iba't ibang uri po, ma'am. Iba't ibang uri ng teksto tungo sa pananaliksik.
Because I'm interested to know whether the use of advanced organizer works in expository text and in narrative text. Narrative kasi yung kay Jed. Maganda kung I'm trying to level up, the quality of this research. What if Jed will do it and you will also do it? Yung sa'yo kasi expository eh. Diba? Expository yung sa'yo. Whereas kay Jed, narrative. Nag-work ba yung advanced organizer in the same way sa expository kaysa narrative? Mas madali kasi yung narrative because you could have all those questions, introduction, rising complication, resolution, and all that. It's kind of predictable for narrative. Paano kaya siya nag-work sa expository? And gumagamit naman tayo ng advanced organizer sa expository. Iba lang nga siya. You have concept webbing, mapping, ganyan, di ba? So, yun ang interesado ako. As a reader, I'd like to know if it works in the narrative, ganun ba din siya ka-effective doon sa expository? So, ang iniisip ko dito, find something that is parallel to what Jed is doing. Kasi sa kanya, you'll use that format already, Jed, right? Yung 5 questions. Something like that, but for exposition. Iba na naman ang questions on. It doesn't have to be exactly the same format as Jed's. Marami yan. Mayroong fishbone, sa advanced organizers.
Yes,
If you
ma'am,
research,
fishbone.
marami yan. So, what you can do is you check, right, kung anong mga advanced organizers na ginagamit or mga, what was your term that you use in this paper for advanced organizers? Graphic organizers, yun ba yun?
Guided graphic organizer, ma'am.
Yes, graphic organizer. So that's one way of leveling up this study, making it more interesting. Meaning both narrative and expository. So your question there would be, ano ang label doon sa ka-Sir Jed na grade 7 narrative? At sa iyo naman, ano bang label doon sa expository mo na grade 11? So, dalawa na ito. Anong level na panauukol sa paggamit ng pinagtubayang grapitong pagtulong sa kanilang pagbubuod ng maikling kwento sa grade 7 class at, so you choose, at ano na ba kayo ngayon sa just one class, you can choose one class. Okay, now, make sure that these 2 classes are similarly situated. Baka yung kay Jed, homogeneous yun, top section, whereas yung sa'yo, heterogeneous, low section. Dapat pareho kayong hetero. And then you have to be clear. You also need to describe in the study. Description yung anong profile ng mga learners nyo. So sa grade 7 yung isa grade 11. Ano bang average grade dito sa Filipino sa grade 7? Ano bang average grade? Because I need to know na medyo pare-pareho yung, meron silang similarity, right? So their second similarity, pareho silang PIAPI. In terms of difference, iba-iba silang level. Because we want to find out kung higher level siya, exposition, nag-work ba din siya? Kasi alam naman natin itong nag-work eh. Research kasi is you have to explore something that is unexplored. If you look at the review of the literature, it has already been established that guided advanced organizers really work for summarizing. So what is our added value there? I think in this case, in your case, ang added value natin dito, we can have a comparative study. 2 different levels, 2 genres. May narrative, may exposition. But the questions are similar. You just need to add, right? So sa kanilang pagbubuod ng mailikling kwento sa grade 7 at sa kanilang I don't know what is the ni Olga sa grade 11. Maybe sa kanilang I don't know what is the lesson nila ngayon. The summarizing and paraphrasing, nandyan din lang sa grade 7 eh. You still have summarizing and paraphrasing, but in the context of research, note-taking.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And in note-taking, summarizing, ganon, meron diyang guided na mga advanced organizers that you could use. So, ma'am, saan ko ba to makikita yung mga ganyan? So, kailangan kasi natin yan ma-include sa review of the literature. Anong mga studies? At least, kung makakuha kayo ng kahit 3 to 5 studies related to this, meron ba kayong mga studies na na-mention dito na yung advanced organizers really does work and that it works both for narrative and exposition? That would be great. And you can put that doon sa first part, yung context and rationale. Yun nyo pwedeng ilagay yung review of literature, yung very short review of the literature. Dito kasi, yes, you've already started here yung mga studies. So we need here related studies. Dito nyo siya i-insert. Okay, so please insert at least 3 related studies, meaning these are researches on the subject. And what is good, if you read about these studies, you'll get ideas on how to proceed with your work. So halimbawa, if I could share screen.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So halimbawa ganito, this is how I helped John Rowell kanina. And yung I introduced to them, do you use ChatGPT and Semantic Scholar?
Hindi po, ma'am.
Okay. So, itong ChatGPT, hindi ito ini-introduce ng mga teachers. In fact, blocked ito sa Siliman. Kasi yon mga estudyante sometimes, they ask ChatGPT to answer questions. And ChatGPT can answer essay questions very efficiently. But that's not how I am introducing ChatGPT to you. So, you can just like, oh, so this is what I did kanina sa kanilang study ni John Rowell. I just asked ChatGPT, what are some researches or references on teaching strategies that address English and clarity in the classroom? So yun, nag-answer na siya. Ito yung mga references pwede nyo. Tapos may summary pa siya. So you could ask. So example, you ask, ito si chat, you can ask here. Libre, by the way, this is free. This is so much better than Google search. Pero hindi ito in-introduce ng mga teachers. This is a recent teaching technology, hindi ini-introduce at binablock siya sa Siliman kasi you can ask a question and it will answer you. Okay, ask a question in Filipino. Halimbawa, paano ba gumawa ng buod? Oh, we will ask ChatGPT to summarize. Ha? Halimbawa, assignment nyo sa klase mo. What was the title of that story that you asked the students to summarize? Jed, doon sa sample.
Kuan, ma'am, Toto, dayon .o, ma'am.
Is that a local story?
Yes, ma'am, a local story.
Published?
Yes, ma'am.
E-O.
Yes, ma'am.
Ang
Toto,
title?
Toto, then .o, ma'am.
Yun yung title?
Yes, ma'am.
Sinong author?
Wait, ma'am. I'll check na.
That's all right. That's all right. Okay. So we'll just do something else. I will just ask si ChatGPT, paano ba gumawa ng buod ng kwento gamit ang, how do you say, advanced organizer?
Pwede rin graphic organizer na lang, ma'am. Yan,
No, we'll say it in Filipino. Tingnan natin kung ma-answer ni ChatGPT.
grapikong pantulong, ma'am.
Grapikong pantulong. Right? We'll see kung alam niya yon. Kaya ito, ban sa Siliman kasi the student can put the question to any essay. Ayan. Filipino din ang answer niya. Ayan, tingnan. Buuin ang konsepto gamit ang this is why you should be very careful with your questions. Be sure na original talaga yung mga stories nyo ipapasummarize. Ayan. So, now, what we will do, I will ask him to stop generating. I will ask him, please give me references or researches about the effectiveness of using advanced organizers or graphic aids, tawag niyan, di ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Graphic aids in expository or in exposition and summarizing. And in summarizing narratives. So, ang hinahanap natin dito, gusto natin research, references, or researches. Ayan. This is how you can quickly do it. Okay? But please don't use this in, ayan. So, use of advanced organizers in learning. So, we can, and if it's not so specific, you can stop generating. The effectiveness of visual organizers in summarizing narrative text. Clearly, this is a very good reference for you. So pili ka lang, because sometimes it will give you so many. Sometimes it's not relevant. So you'll have to fish. And you'll have to, I can stop generating, ano. There's another is, I think I introduced to you like semantic scholar.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so
Yes
pwede
po,
din
ma'am.
ito sa semantic scholar. So kung ano i-ask nyo doon sa Ask GPT, oh, i-ask nyo din sa semantic scholar. So you'll see, pag nire-repeat yan, maybe this is really a popular. So since summarizing marami yan, I will use expository. So references, and if I'm using advanced organizers or in exposition, in summarizing, in note-taking, or research, right? Note-taking in research classes. Okay. So you actually, pwede dyan dito, effectiveness. So you can do that. That now it says there are no results. So you'll have to make it broader. So, halimbawa, ganyan, using advanced organizers and note-taking. So, I want you to do this. And even here, sa ano, you can be very specific. Yan, naglo-load na siya ng results. So, makikita nyo yan. So, ang hinahanap ko lang, 3 to 5 references lang. Diba? So, hanap kayo ng mga relevant dyan. Tanungin nyo si ChatGPT. At saka, you pay or you are paying the library. So, you email the librarian sa Udilo. It is, we have almost 1 million entries doon na pwede ninyong gamitin. So, make use of your money that you pay for library. So, okay. Kasi it's good to read muna about what others have already done kasi it will really give you ideas on how you will conduct your own research. Pero I think for now, yung research nyo, kailangan i-level up. It has to have an added value. Because if you search dito, sorry, mandaming gumagamit daw ngayon. Okay. So if you search dito, you will see na for narrative, it's already been established that using advanced organizers. So what is your added value? Your added value is this is in Filipino and we've established mahihirapan yung ating mga mag-aaral in Filipino. So not many studies done in Filipino. Most of the studies are done in English. So that's your value added. Yung second value added ninyo, most of those studies are on narrative. So yung kay Olga na expository, that's another added value. So yung tatlon yung added value dyan is comparative yung sa inyo. You have grade level 7 na narrative. Si Olga naman, senior high school. So you have junior high school and senior high school. Yun yung added value nyo. And it's still doable. So yung question nyo, okay yung number 1, kailangan nyo lang dyan, value added, right? Expound it. Second, kailangan nyo dyan, saan yung inyong instrument, right? So, ipapa-validate nyo yan para easier. Yun lang expert validation. Tapos, ipapilot nyo lang siya with a few students para ma-fine-tune nyo siya before you field it to all of your students. Okay? So, dapat yung saan nyo siya ipapilot, you get those students from the section na hindi kasama ng research. Dapat yung nagpap-attend sa pilot, hindi yung kasama sa research. Kasi ang goal nila is to improve the questionnaire. So, hindi na sila pwede mag-answer ng questionnaire kasi nakita na nila eh. Alright. Then pangalawa, ano ang level ng kasanayan ng mga magsulat ng buod ng maikling kwento gamit ang pinatubayang graphicong pangtulong? My question is, paano kayo maka-generate ng answer to this question? What is the level of expertise? Sabi nyo, may checklist.
Merong holistic rubric, ma'am.
Okay. So, saan yung holistic rubric na yun?
Binabalang kasama namin, ma'am.
Okay. So, pag ginawa niyo yung holistic rubric, again, ipapa-expert validate nyo yon. Pakita nyo kay Sir Ronald or kung sino or si Ma'am Jean or sino man ang Unless meron ng published na i-adapt nyo. Pero kung kayo pang gumawa, kailangan siya i-validate. So, kung meron ng published, kasi marami ng published na mga holistic rubric on summarizing narratives na nakikita ko that you could use. Marami na yan sa mga Filipino books, di ba? Hindi nyo siya kailangan i-validate kasi published na nga siya. Pero yung kay Olga, I think you'll have to do it kasi parang wala akong nakikitang masyado doon sa expository.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
yeah, doon kayo pwede mag-modify. I-modify nyo yung existing, right? But if there is naman sa expository in Filipino, baka sa mga Filipino books, meron na rin holistic rubric dyan. So yung basihan nyo is the holistic rubric and then you will see if effective ba siya? Ano ang level na kasanayan? So you want to see mastery. Now, kasi pag mastery, okay, this is a decision you need to make. Kasi doon sa kanina, Grace and John, ang question ko naman doon, dapat meron kang experimental group and control group if you want to find out if this really works. And in this section, gagamitan mo siya ng graphic organizer. Sa kabilang section, hindi mo siya gagamitan. So you'll see if it really works, right? So that's something that you need to decide. If you want to find out, if the purpose of this study is to find out if indeed the use of an advanced organizer works, it would be interesting to have one section, gumamit ka ng advanced, yung other section, hindi ka gumagamit. Right? So, meron niyang ethical, meron niyang ethical concern kasi kawawa naman yung hindi ginagamitan. Yun yung ethical concern dyan in any research. Pag yung control group, sila yung wala kayong ginawa. Like, so sa control group, pinapasummarize nyo lang sila right away without the benefit of advanced organizers. Now, there is an ethical issue there because you have taught one group something and you haven't really taught the other group that. So, ang point ko dyan is if you're going to choose, and this is a decision you'll have to make. If you're going to choose the control and experimental, you will have to meet this control group towards the end of the session. Pag tapos na kayo nag-collect ng data, you really need to teach them how to use advanced organizer. Kasi especially if the scores are graded, kawawa naman sila, wala silang scaffolding. Tapos, it's for the benefit of the study. Yun yung medyo ethical issue doon. So if you decide, ma'am, parang kawawa naman yung mga bata. We want, ito na lang, maggamit na lang kami ng advanced organizers but different levels na lang, narrative and expository. You can also go that path. So it's a decision that you make as researchers. And then pangatlo, paano nakakaugnay, anong relationship ng perception nila, right? Of the use of the advanced organizers and their, so, quanti ito. Right? What is the significant relationship? What is the relationship? So, kailangan kayo maggamit nito ng statistics. Maybe t-test. So, you have to ask Sir De La Rama for help on that. Give him the details lang. Or, you can actually search online paano pag anong statistics ng t-test. You just ask Sir De La Rama, Sir, is t-test the appropriate statistical tool na gagamitin namin. Kasi sa Excel naman, you can plug in the values. You can actually do this in Excel. Tapos, pag nandyan ang data, pakita nyo lang ka Sir De La Rama for verification. Sir, inano namin siya na Excel. Tama ba to? Right? Or any math major dyan sa math department if busy si Sir De La Rama. Kasi yun yung quanti part doon. Because you want to see significant relationship between mastery and perception. But actually, you don't have to do that. If you ask me,
Yes, ma'am.
I will ask the question, so what? As a teacher, okay, there is a relationship. So what? There's a relationship between their perception. I like advanced organizers there, and then mastery high. There's a significant positive relationship. Diba? Yung sabihin mo dyan. So, as a teacher sa CBAR, kailangan mag-positive ang kanilang perception sa so that they can get mastery. Is that what's important to me? What's important to me is I know if this is working. in both narrative and expository.
Pwede lang din namin tanggalin na lang yung third question, ma'am. Medyo mahirap kasi, ma'am, kapag gagamit ng
Yes,
mga
because gagamitan siya sa statistical tool because you're looking at relevant, significant relationship, which you can do. Pwede siyang i-excel. Anyway, small class lang naman siya. Tapos ipakita niyo kay Sir De La Rama for verification. Pero, if you ask me, pwede siyang purely ano siya, ang quanti part dito is yung level of mastery. You just want to find out if it's effective or not. Makikita nyo naman yun. The next doon is ethical issue. Who will grade? Kasi you're conducting the research, kayo din ang mag-grade. O, paano na yun? So, it has to be na si Jen will mark Olga's maybe and Olga's kasi parang, well, okay, you're studying naman your own class, Pero I think, eto na lang, you will both grade each other. Kailangan meron kayong reliability test. So, si Olga will grade yours and also, you will also grade yours. Kabalid, parang, I can see 3 columns there. Ito yung name ng child. Ito yung score na binigay ni Jen based on the general, yung holistic rubric ang ginagamit. At ito ang ginagamit ni Olga. Ito din ang score ni Olga. Makikita nyo kung may reliability ba yung scoring nyo. Kasi meron naman kayong criterion, right? And by the way, you don't put the names there, right? You just code. Example, you have a list of students, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Numbers lang ang lagay nyo doon. But you should have those list of students kasi kailangan makikita nyo dyan, gender. Na-interesting din yun. Like, pag nakikita nyo na saan doon ang mas is it gender slant? May gender slant, meaning mga babae mas nakakakuha nito compared to, madami kayong pwedeng tingnan dyan in terms of patterns or themes. So I think, even without number 3, actually interesting na siya. Pero syempre, mas interesting siguro siya on a quantitative perspective. If there is a significant relationship between perception of the use of advanced organizer and mastery. If they like it, it works. If they don't like it, maybe it doesn't work. Sorry ha, parang hindi talaga. Kung teacher ako, so what? So what if they like it? Ang importante if it works or not. It's my role as a teacher for them to like it. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
And also less work for you. Yun yung iniisip ko. Like if it's more work, it has to be really for a good reason. 2 questions would be good enough. But instead of ang level, no? Di ba you're going to ask them? You have to ask them, why? Do you like, what? Di ba yung sinabi ko kanina, has your teacher used this before? Yung pinasummarize ba kayo directly? Was it difficult for you? Why was it difficult for you? No? After ng, treatment nyo, you ask them, now you've seen me using advanced organizer. So parang dalawa siyang interview. You interview before, interview after. Does it help? Why does it help? Yung mga ganong why. Walang why ito. Puro diba? Wala siyang, kailangan natin ng how. And why? Walang paano at bakit. And that's the third question that I want. Yung paano na not quantity. Yung paano that's really digging deeper. Yung deeper talaga. Mas malalim. So, yeah, I think that's the third question you should ask.
So,
why?
So sa ma'am sa paano at bakit. So, higher order ang
Yes. And the answers to those you can generate from the answers to the interview or baka gusto nyo mag-focus group discussion or interview pag hindi nyo kaya silang igrupo. Pero you can interview naman like 5 people, no? And you generally ask, if you have 2 groups, ask those who are really good in Filipino, and then another group na not so good. Don't put them in one group because those who are good will dominate the responses. You will no longer get the responses of those na nahihirapan talaga mag-express. And the interview doesn't have to be in Filipino. If they're more comfortable in Bisaya, then you have to do it in Bisaya. Mas ganahan ba kag naingon ani do ngano man? Kung idritso ra daig pa-summarize, asa may mas maayo para nimo kay ngano man? Unsa kay mabuhat ni teacher para ma-improve pag yun ni? That's another question you could ask. No, how can I improve the use of advanced organizer in class? What do you think would work better? Saan ka na ko kung mogamit kaya kung mga images instead of just a table, kung mogamit ko, you know. So you need to read because there are many ways of doing advanced organizers. So yung mga research natin on other studies that have been done, I think it will help. So, ayun. I hope nakatulong yon na parang value added.
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
Dako
ma'am.
siya.
Ito, ma'am. Ang mga absorb na lang. Okay, ma'am. Okay. Okay, ma'am. So, yes, ma'am. So, yung section na pipiliin lang namin, ma'am, isa sa grade 7, isa for senior high school, ma'am.
Yeah, yun yung iniisip ko.
Okay.
And dapat similarly situated siya ha. Hindi pwedeng top section din sa kabila, tapos sa kabila ganyan.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
And then your rating, dapat may reliability test. So yung rating nyo in relation to number 2, yung mastery, level ng kasanayan, dapat dalawa kayong mag-rate. And you should not see each other's rating. Dalawa kayo pero separate yung ano. So what I did before, we did this experiment before then. I actually did something like this. Pina-Xerox namin yung answers. So we have different sets. So kasi pag isa lang, tapos na ako, ikaw na naman, makikita mo yung rating niya, na-influence ka na. Dapat separate. And you should do that several times. Hindi lang pwede isang summary lang. So ilang beses nyo ba siya gawin?
Ang ano po, ma'am, yung pagbabasa,
Yung pagpa-summarize nyo, hindi pwedeng one summary. Kailangan kasi iti-test dyan reliability. So you have to do it maybe how many summaries will you do in a span of 1 month. Ilang beses sila pwede mag-summarize? Maybe 4 times?
Parang 3 to 4 ata, ma'am.
Oo.
I think kaya yung 3, ma'am.
3.
Okay, 3 times. Ayan. So, i-describe nyo pa yan, ha? Yung based on summary, meaning this lesson was in the context of yada, 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 Philippine literature to. Yung sa kabila, i-describe din ni Olga na ito ay pananaliksik na subject at this point, nagno-note-taking sila, kaya sila kailangan mag-summarize. So, ginagamit ko dito yung use of advanced organizer, particularly, I don't know what anong advanced organizer ang gagawin mo or gagamitin mo. Ganyan. You have to describe each of those. Kasi magkakaiba yung nyo, konteksto. So, para siyang comparative. So, yung title natin dyan, mas maganda na. Oh, di ba? Kasi may value added ka siya. Research is really about investigating, exploring, answering, wondering ba? Wondering. O, paggamit ng pinatnubayang graphic kung pangtulong or advanced organizer, so you have there pamaraan sa pagbubuod ng maikling kwento at ano ba yung note-taking in Filipino? Hindi ko alam. In a science class or in a research class. So,
Ma'am, lalagyan pa namin ng yung title ng isang komparatibong pag-aaral. Okay na, hindi na, ma'am.
okay na hindi kasi lalagyan naman natin to na pamamaraan sa epektibong, just remove epektibo because it's really biased.
Okay.
You're already assuming it's gonna be effective. You're still investigating, So paggamit ng pinatnubayang grapikong pangtulong sa pagbubuod ng maikling kwento at ano ba yung note-taking, ganyan-ganyan. Pwede din, oo. Pwede na yan. And then, pwede din you want pagbubuod ng maikling kwento in grade 7 at pagsa-summarize in note-taking in grade 11. Pwede din ganyan. So, pag ganyan, obviously,
expository text, ma'am, no?
yes. So, one expository and one narrative. I think that's gonna be your value added dito na parang wala pang maraming gumawa ng ganyang research, especially in Filipino. Pero remember, dapat may FGD kayo after, ha? You ask them, you ask the students really if it works for them or why it worked, why they like it, and how you can improve it para maganda yung full circle yung study nyo. Ayan. Because remember, CBAR, ang purpose natin dito, improvement of practice. So it's not just that we know it works well, but we have to ask the students also how we can do it better. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
So
Thank you,
ma'am,
ma'am.
last ma'am, regarding sa pagkuha ng average test scores, ma'am, okay lang yun, ma'am, para makita yung
Yes.
ano ng level ng kasanayan. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, kasi yung level ng kasanayan, kailangan nyo ng data niyan. Right? So kukunin nyo dyan yung kanilang mastery level, right? You can do that through scores. Dyan kasi maganda yung pag meron kayong experimental at control kasi nakikita nyo talaga if it works, right? Pero yun nga, may ethical concern. Pag meron kayong ganyan, you really have to make sure hindi, it's not recorded. Kasi kawawa naman yung isa, walang scaffold tapos i-record yung score. Yun yung medyo mahirap dyan. Sa inyo, i-record nyo yan, di ba? Because it's part of your class.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you can include that in your limitation of the study. You put a limitation there na section, na the limitation, sabihin nyo na initially you would have wanted to do an experimental and control group. However, there are ethical issues that may need to be addressed, specifically that the scores will be recorded and that you cannot, ethically record scores of two groups who have been treated differently. Kaya ganito ang ginawa nyo. What you do instead is compare two different genres at two different levels. Okay. Okay, maganda yun. Merong scope and limitation ng study. Ilagay natin.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
So regarding po sa average test scores, ma'am, average sa pagbibigay ng score ni Olga, then sa akin din po, ma'am.
This is for, you want to test mastery.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So, for example, student A, so over 10, doon sa scoring, ang score niya is 8, ang score ni Olga is 7, right? You can do an average of that.
Okay, ma'am.
So, just to, parang merong reliability test. So, halimbawa, yung isa, you scored 9, si Olga scored 5. You have to talk with Olga. Bakit? Ito yung reliability testing, you don't just average it. And balikan nyo yung rubric and you'll have to make a decision. This is not about influencing another person, but this is now discussing, justifying so that you can come up with a common understanding. I was also wondering, bakit holistic yung rubric nyo? Bakit hindi siya yung analytic scoring?
Ma'am, iniba, yung una talaga, ma'am, analytical rubric, ma'am, pero iniba ako, ma'am, baka medyo mahirapan kami, ma'am, like baka every pamantayan o yung criteria, baka kailangan siyang kunin yung average niya, ma'am. So, yung kasing holistic, ma'am, like wala na kasi siyang pamantayan, like sa yung descriptor na lang talaga clear yung pagkakalahad ng description kung ano yung puntos na ibibigay. Pero sa tingin niyo po, ma'am, ano po yung mas better po, ma'am?
I would go for analytic scaling if I have a specific talaga rubric. I don't know kasi the purpose of the activity in the context of your lesson, right? So, ang holistic scoring kasi, you have like, content, di ba? Organization, mechanics. Ganyan ba? O holistic siya pero more specific yung nyo? I have to see it. And I think more importantly, your expert validator will help you. You show it to your validation specialist. So, sino magbabalidate niyan? And then you ask, sir, okay na ba tong ganito na holistic at hindi siya analytic? And I also get it na baka nga okay ang holistic kasi expository yung kay Olga, narrative yung sa iyo. Kasi even if it's expository, halimbawa, mastery of the subject, pareho yan eh. You can use the same. Pag analytic, kasi iba-iba talaga yung rubric nyo. So, for purposes of comparison, mas maganda yung isa lang. And you can do that kung holistic. Yung tingnan nyo lang, mastery of content, ano ba expectation nyo na dapat nandoon, na laman talaga sa summary. And then yung organization niya, dapat meron lang kayong description kung what do you mean by organization. Cohesion, coherence, ano ba, grammar, I don't know what comes with organization, and then mechanics, yung mga margins, kung ano-ano pa, punctuation. I don't really know what to find out there. That's really something that your validator could help you with. So may pros din yung holistic scoring kasi magagamit niyo siya, the same lang ang inyong rubric for both. Kasi pag analytic yan, baka mahirap siya. You really have to have separate kasi expository tapos ano. So depende sa inyo. Okay, so yeah, dapat yung FIRE. It has to be feasible, meaning it's doable within 2 months because you don't want you to delay your graduation. Dapat matapos talaga siya ng first week of May, ganyan. Right? And it has to be interesting in the sense na there is value added, meaning may relevance siya. Right? At nag-engage nyo yung mga students, yun. Meron kayong input from various stakeholders.
Ma'am, confused na ako, ma'am, regarding sa ikatlong beses sila na pasusulatin ng buod, ma'am. Like, yung sa pag-score, ma'am, paglagay namin dyan sa interpretation, ma'am, then yung sa chapter 4, ma'am, like, yung score talaga ng first, second, at third na...
Yes, itatabulate nyo yan. Maganda yan, itatabulate. Kasi minsan the summary is not as good kasi mahirap yung story. Mas maganda yung, if you want to find out if it's effective, it has to be more than once. You have to test more than once, right? So, itong story nito, you have to describe itong story nito, ilang words ito, medyo dense siya, medyo marami siyang unfamiliar words, itong story na to, you have to describe those 3 stories. And then, itabulate yung mga scores nila doon sa 3. So, makita mo doon, may trend sila. Halimbawa, even if it's difficult, it's still above 6 yung mga scores. Yung mga, mas maganda siya kung more than 1. Kasi, consistency. You want to see reliability. So, ita-table nyo siya. Nakikita ko yung mga tables nyo. Meron kayong table na sa summary lang, meron kayong tables kay Olga lang, tapos meron kayong comparative table. Tapos, yung sa qualitative nyo, meron kayo din table doon. Kasi titingnan yung mga themes. What are the sources of difficulty? Why do they like it? Maganda din yun. Tingnan nyo yung study nila Jundi. Kasi quali yun. Tingnan nyo rin paano nila pinipresent yung themes. Okay? Maganda yung research nyo. Pag if you do it well, this is worth publishing and presenting. Kasi nga may value added. Sige.
Medyo ma'am, totoo lang na-stress kami sa interpretation. Yung sa chapter 4, yung sa mga table, ma'am. Pero sige lang, kakayanin.
One step at you can take this one step at a time. So, pag na-improve niya yung klaro, importante klaro sa inyo what you're going to do. Klaro naman sa inyo, di ba?
Yes po, ma'am.
Yes po, ma'am.
Klaro din sa inyo, i-remove niyo yung question number 3 and you will replace that with the why and the how question, right? Or, depende sa inyo. So you have 3 questions, ipo-person nyo yun, you collect data, you start teaching, using the strategy, you give the mastery test, ganyan. So, dapat nandun yung, di ba, meron kayong timetable, iisa-isahin nyo yun. Saan ako dito? Dapat may checklist kayo what you need to do next. Kasi ito medyo broad pa to. Now that is clearer to you, you will have to change, modify this and make it more specific. Tapos you check, I'm done with this, and then you move on. The analysis will come really, it will be easier when you have the data already. When you start looking at it, you start getting excited. Yeah, hindi nyo yan tulugan kasi exciting yung data analysis. Yeah.
Wow.
Again. Okay, cool na tayo.
Thank you, ma'am.
Klaro na yun. Sige.
Thank you so much.
This is recorded, no? Somebody's recording this. Please send me the link kasi i-share natin doon sa kanila so they can learn from the discussion also. Yung those who are still to proceed. Oo, para mapipick up din nila. We can help each other. All right?
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Maraming
Thank you
salamat
so much,
po.
ma'am.
Welcome.